One more level and then we're actually going to get to the second boss fight, which is exciting because the embryo boss fight in Crash 1, which I think is the only time we really fight embryo as a boss fight now that I think about it. Does he appear in any like Crash game beyond Crash 3? Well, I guess this one is literally called Crash 4, It's About Time, so those are not canonical any longer at all. Which is going to piss off some people because people like Twinsanity. And to those people, I want to say, I respectfully disagree. Oh, I missed a bonus level. That's right, because I fucked up a lot. I'm still not sure how I'm supposed to get that one extra box in the bonus level there, though. And the one thing I'll say about the Wumpa Fruit gems is mainly that if you get in the box gem, you're likely to get the Wumpa Fruit gems anyway, because you're getting a Wumpa Fruit out of those boxes, right? So why do they necessarily have to be separate? We have a wall run mechanic. Did we really need a wall run mechanic? Did we need that? I mean, it's automatic. It's not like an actual platforming mechanic. It's literally just automatic until you press X again, at which point... This does look pretty, though. At which point you just jump off the wall into a what seems to be predetermined location. So it's not really a platform element as much as it is just like the wall jumping you have as Torna. It's more of a cutscene that just kind of plays mid gameplay, which I'm not a huge fan of. It just kind of interrupts the flow of the game most. That's a flamey box, and that's an explodey box. I mean, you say just what? Yeah, I just realized that. Dude! I just realized that I did that the wrong way around, didn't I? You're supposed to do it like that, but like really skillfully. This is actually fairly tricky to get, because there's a real good chance that you actually explode the TNT. I rest my case. Can I spin this enemy into those boxes? No I cannot. So can I... You know what? That works. I don't know how you're supposed to do that without getting damaged. But having the Aqua mask, that also works. Just die enough to the point where you can take damage taking out those boxes. I've already died too much for getting the Death Gem anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Again, first half of the game, this is fucking Slippery Climb. It's not quite as bad as Slippery Climb, but I'm not entirely sure what they were thinking with the difficulty curve in this game. It's a little all over the place. Not necessarily bad, but slightly inconsistent is the word I'd use. Can't you do old Crash sliding from slide to slide? Yeah, but I don't think that would keep me... I mean, we'll never know, because we've already moved on from it now. But I'm fairly certain that would not keep me safe. You know what? Getting hit... I feel like that shouldn't take me down with it. That's not how gravity works. Especially if I'm like in a state of pseudo anti-gravity. I know it's a pretty like fringe case, but still. You did place that platform with that behavior in a section where you knew the player was potentially going to have dark matter enabled. That's just a stupid, straight up case of wrong button. So far, the only videos you've uploaded the game is quite challenging. That is also partly because I am an idiot, to be fair. But yeah, the difficulty definitely is aimed more towards people who have played Crash before. This is not necessarily a game meant for people new to the series. but the game doesn't seem to be getting much more difficult, so far anyway. So it starts off at a fairly difficult level, and then kind of keeps you around that level. And this is like level 14, so I was kind of expecting at this point to, like, be playing, like, freaking Kaizo Bandicoot, or something like that, right? And I'm very glad that I'm not, because that would be bad for my health, and the health of my PlayStation as well. And it makes sense that they don't go, like, absolutely overboard with the difficulty for a official release of any game. And that was less than ideal. But do you see how many lives I'm getting? I don't know, maybe the game thinks it's more difficult than it actually is. Okay, that's on me. Let's see. Another idiot that doesn't seem beginner friendly. It definitely does not seem beginner friendly. The game expects you to have played at least like a Crash Bandicoot game before. Specifically 3, obviously, because the story continues on from 3. But it expects you to have played more than just that, because they also reference Torna, like very directly, in a way that's like, yeah, this is definitely aimed towards people who've played the original trilogy, whether that being the Insane version or the classic version. That's a difficult thing to jump over. I must admit, the control, the feeling of the controls, it might actually feel like better and closer to the original than the Insane trilogy got at times. Like the slide jump and the slide spin, they actually kind of work. And I know at least the slide spin initially was stupid. I know the slide spin originally was a glitch, and like the ever building momentum it gives in Crash 3 definitely has been removed. But as a move in Crash's like move pool, it exists and you can use it. Like you can negate the little almost stun you get after a slide by directly spinning after it, and you can also do a slide jump on TNT, I learned right now. Which is a thing you can actually do in at least Crash 2, I presume, also Crash 3. But how am I supposed to get over that? I'm just not gonna. That's how. Well, that was easy. Let's check the chat again. Yeah, it's a sequel to Crash 3, not complaining, but feels weird. It feels a little bit like the publishers, not even the developers, but like the publishers, they spend a little too much time on the internet and they figured out that everybody hates Crash 4 and onwards. So they're like, yeah, let's just reboot that. If everybody hates it, we might as well just like ignore everything that happened and just say that this is Crash 4. Like 20 years later, 3 entire console generations later, this is Crash Bandicoot 4. Nothing else has ever... No, what do you mean other Crash Bandicoot games? That didn't happen, that was stupid. What do you mean other Crash Bandicoot games? That did not happen, there's nothing else. There's Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, 3, I guess Crash Team Racing, Insane Trilogy, Team Racing Nitro Fueled, maybe Crash Bash, and then Crash Bandicoot 4. There's nothing else to it. Also, I just realised what I'm supposed to do there. I gave you a little hint there. I'm going to try sliding under it. That seems a not bad idea. Yeah, that's definitely a not bad idea. You don't always have to use the mask's powers. Another thing I noted while playing off-screen today is that... Oh, there's a wall run section here. is that the Wumpa Fruits and the 1-ups and everything like that, they seem to be attracted to Crash a lot more than they used to be in the past, which I appreciate. Because maybe just that Aku Aku has a longer range to him or something. But it seems a lot easier to get large amounts of scattered Wumpa Fruits compared to what it used to be like. Again, even compared to the Insane Trilogy, that has been improved. I almost ran into that Nitro Crate. That would have been a bad time. Okay, as much as this is not a mechanic, I do... Oh, this is the first time we're seeing this mechanic in a while. Spoilers for the YouTube videos, I guess. Thanks to the Ansei, it's a figment of the collective conscience. Yeah. Nobody talks about Crash Bash. Thanks to the Insane Trilogy, I knew there were 3 crashes. I saw a team racing on the store and thought it was a PS4 crash. So there is a Crash 4 before this one. Yeah, there's Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex, which I don't think technically was called Crash Bandicoot 4, but it's the Crash Bandicoot game on PS. Okay, that's on me. It's the Crash Bandicoot game on, I think it's on Xbox, original Xbox. I think it's also, don't worry, when the boxes, like the TNT boxes are shifted away, you can't get hurt by them. It was on original Xbox, maybe also on GameCube, but I don't know about that. Oh, that is a thing, isn't it? Wow. Okay, let's focus there for a moment, because that's not easy. And PS2, obviously, was also on PS2. But apparently the PS2 version is like one of the worst versions, because it has very low frame rates and long loading times and stuff like that. So apparently, if you're gonna play that, you know what? I skipped. No. Holy hell! How did I survive that? Another thing, oh, I just realized something. Another thing is that apparently, just like in, and I think that might be the thing, I'm not completing sentences, that might be the thing that makes this game feel so much closer to the original trilogy than the Insane Trilogy did. And that is, after you are not on a platform, you still have the opportunity to jump for like at least a couple of frames, which is really helpful. Especially if you're doing things like this with reality shifting, where platforms disappear from under you. Oh, that you actually need to spin that, eh? That is difficult. It's not necessarily difficult. It takes some getting used to, that's what it does. So, yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the being able to actually jump when you're not on a platform anymore is a huge deal in being able to like correct jumps and just like making the game feel more responsive while making it like less realistic in a way. But we're playing as a Bandicoot that's flying around with the power of dark matter. I don't think realism is really the first concern here. Almost. Wrath of Cortex most definitely is not the first Crash game, because it is on a console generation after the first Crash game. So, no. No, it's not. Though, I guess it might have been the first... Didn't they have an Aku Aku? There's no loading time in Wrath of Cortex for PS2. The time you play the levels are the loading times. Wait, what? I remember there being some issue with the PS2 version, or maybe it's the Xbox version, I don't know. It never made sense to me that I haven't played them in like a long time. So it never made sense to me that specifically the PlayStation version would be the worst performing one. So maybe you're right and it's not the PlayStation version that was badly performing. Yeah, there's nothing like much I could have done about that because the timing just kind of screwed me there, right? Yeah, we're not gonna get the box gem anyway. We missed about about 40 gems. Schrodinger's Aku Aku. When you need it, it's not there. And when you do need it, it actually does show up. Because when you just keep on dying, you get a free one. Those mechanics have been lifted over for previous Crash games. Where if you need a checkpoint, they'll just give it to you. If you need an extra hit, they'll just give it to you.